Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Mother, hold our hand, guide us, take us from unreal to real, from darkness to light, from ignorance to wisdom, death to immortality. May with these prayers and with the practices, no one suffer. May peace and ananda and joy be showered upon those who listen and practice your words either way and have devoted their life from the material to spirituality. Include the spirituality in the world of materialism, but remembering always the supreme truth which is within. I am Atman Brahman. Mother, bless us all. Jai Guru. Today we are going to share something which is a combination of the dualism and the Advaita. And that is, today's topic would be Shiva ideal. We all know that Shivaratri Muhurata is starting from 2:43 this afternoon and will continue till the next day. So, listening to, understanding who is Shiva and how is it coupled with the Advaita practice and with the Kriya Yoga that we do. If you notice that if you have gone to Ranchi, there is a Shiva temple there, and which was set up by Lahiri Mahasaya, no one else. And Paramahansa Yogananda is to follow. It used to be often my question that how is Shiva connected to Kriya? So I have been doing research on that. Shiva worship is not a dualistic worship. Dualistic worship is you are there, I am here, you are mighty, you're too powerful, I am too weak, I am too small. On the other, over here, let us first see Shankaracharya, the guru of non-dualism. He himself has written down several hymns on Shiva worship. Nirvana Shakatam is one of them, and in which, in almost every stanza, he is ending with Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupaham. How could it be that the Advaita, which is talking about the ultimate supreme Brahman as one, is joining up with the Shiva worship? Apparently it is dualistic. It is not, and it is good for us to understand. Let us look at it first from the dualistic angle. If you look at who is Shiva, now when you meet someone, you often ask, what is your name? Where do you stay? Where do you live? Where are you from? On the similar line, we will approach this. Who is Shiva? Shiva, if you look carefully, is totally different than the other gods and goddesses. Totally. Have you ever realized? You must have noticed it cursorily, being spiritually highly enlightened, each one of you must have noticed that if you Google Hindu gods and goddesses, you will find all the gods and goddesses with very special clothes and jewelry and very special vahan to take them around, and diamonds and gold and very special clothes. Look at Shiva. Shiva often is represented wearing only a tiger skin. And he wears as ornaments Rudraksha. And it is named also Rudra Aksha. That is the tear of the Rudra. And you will see, he wears jewelry as a necklace, which is a live poisonous snake. Just think, poisonous snake. Not only that, look at what we abhor, we hate. Nobody wants things which is there with Shiva. Understand at every step the non-dualism angle, the Advaita angle. Who are the rejects of the society? Drug addicts, alcoholics, those demon-like creatures, those scorpions and lizards and snakes, they all are around Shiva. Margaret Noble, that is Sister Nivedita, had written an article on Shiva. And she so beautifully depicted. She said, anyone approaches Shiva, Shiva will always listen, quick to listen, quick to grant. There is nowhere at no time, whatever you do, and it was so great listening to Sister Nivedita's talk, that you will always find solace with Shiva. Shiva will always embrace you. Notice who all is to worship. All the gods and goddesses, also all the demons, all the asuras, they all worshipped him. Shiva's another name is Ashutosh. It means he is very easy to please and easy to grant boons. You go to gods and goddesses asking for boons, blessings. Easy to please and easy to grant. See, it gave me a great feeling right from the beginning, must have been very young, that whatever I do, Shiva is there for us. It's always there. And progressively, I begin to do a lot of research in the current time to try and understand the meanings. Now, Shiva actually means tranquility in Sanskrit. It's peace. Look at his life. He's always peaceful. The deity is the symbolic of the supreme power. There are gods, there are devas, there are asuras, there are demons, as per the Shiva Puran. If you read Shiva Puran, you will find there are so many stories where Shiva granted boons easily and effortlessly. Anybody wanted to gain something in their life, they will all run to Shiva and worship Shiva. In Shiva's lot of stories, let us take on one story of Samudra Manthan. Samudra Manthan, at that time, it was pointed out that the entire universe was actually an ocean of milk. It's a beautiful story. Today you have to go to milk store to buy milk. There all you have to do is book a mug and take out a mug of milk. And the demons and the gods, they all came to know that hidden inside the milk ocean, are tremendous amount of jewels. So the gods, goddesses, and the demons and the asuras, they all chose, let's find out the wealth from the milk ocean, and whatever comes out, we will share. Now, how do we churn ocean, entire universe, how are we going to do that? So, as the story goes on to tell in the Shiv Puran, that they chose the tallest mountain at that time in the mythical story was the Mount Meru. They chose and asked Mount Meru, and these mountains and all in the mythical story could talk and convey, like Himalaya, he got married and his daughter is Parvati, who became wife of Shiva. So Mount Meru agreed to become the pin. You have to put something and then churn it, right? And now where is the rope? So they went and approached the king of the snakes, Vasuki, huge mythical serpent. Vasuki agreed. And you all must have heard some part of the story. I wish to give you a little different angle to this. And this is how, on reflections and deeper reflection, I came to realize that the true mythical stories, otherwise it's considered is just to be told to the children and grandchildren and friends and nice to read. But they all have a deep-rooted meaning in the Indian mythological story. And so I'm certain mythological story of all the countries, they've got great meanings for us to learn lessons from. Now, firstly, a deity, when it is chosen one, let's say for Shiva, or Durga Mata with 10 hands, or Mother Kali, why have they been chosen like that? Comes from a much, much higher source. It is not just some archaeological or some people just getting into intellectual discussions and come to make a decision, let's make the idol like this. It is not like that. It is much, much deeper and higher. Now, these gods and goddesses got into the churning. As the story goes, the gods chose the tail part of the snake and the asuras chose the head part of the snake. Churning, as it continued, it started coming out with lots of gems and the wealth. And as it would come out, there was a lot of lack of order. Everybody would bounce at things. Notice, everybody was there excepting one person, and that was Lord Shiva. He was in Mount Kailas and meditating. Lessons to learn. When the rat race, everybody is racing to get something. We are always going out and buying and things like that. And we think that the wealth is out there, wealth is in the milk ocean. Shiva silently, quietly meditating to be rich with the wealth within. And all his time was in meditation. Notice this message we are getting behind with. Now, one of the great thing came about Kalpa Vriksha, the wish tree. Whatever you wish shall be granted to that. So if you notice, I got this message long time ago, and if you come to Victoria's Kids, you will see as you enter there is a big wish tree. Often parents wonder what is this tree inside the school doing, and that is the tree of wisdom, wish tree. Not only you can wish and get anything, you will also attain the supreme knowledge, which is meant for the children and for the school's mission. Now, many other things were coming up. Along with them, to cut the big stories short, some other time we will cover the rest of the details. Suddenly the whole milk ocean started to become dark, jet black. Imagine, whole milk ocean is becoming dark and black. And they started to realize, the gods and the demons and asuras, that they named it halahal. Very bad poison is coming out of the same ocean churning. Not only well, coming out terrible poison. And this poison is so bad that it could destroy the whole universe. So, they immediately ran for life, and everybody got together and realized that only one person can solve the situation, and that is Shiva. Because of his great yogic power. Look at the great yogic power. He's always meditating in Mount Kailash. But despite the mightiest of the mighty, the queens, the wives, the children of the great gods and goddesses, or the power of all the gods put together, Mother Durga, everybody wants to get married to Shiva. Have you realized? In other words, what? Those who seek wealth from within, automatically they have a tremendous attraction from the world. World wants them. The more you and I dwell within, you become more popular and you become more wanted for the people. Look at Durga Mata, Kali Mata, Parvati, and not only that, look at Durga Mata, Kali Mata. They are not some Nancy Pansy wife or a mother. They are the supreme power, and the supreme power chose Shiva. Now they all came to Shiva and said, Shiva, Shiva, save us, save us. Shiva opened his eyes. Instantly he realized, and from Mount Kailash he extended his hand and took the poison in his hand. Imagine, he drank it. Look at the non-dualistic angle. The wealth from within. Aham Brahmasmi. And everybody is wanting that wealth, getting attracted to it. And his wanting to help everyone is so strong. He did not think once, what will happen to me if I drink it? When everybody else were racing for the rat race of grabbing the wealth from the milk ocean and churning, Samudra Manthan, Shiva, the only person, did not join the rat race. He knew that whatever you're racing for now, it's only temporary. It's momentary. He knew the supreme wealth is elsewhere. What did he do? He drank it up. And with his supreme yogic power, which you and I will also attain if we continue to practice this Advaita and continue to, we are practicing the Samkhya philosophy and Advaita in Shankaracharya's Advaita. We are worshipping Dvaita, the gods and goddesses, with the devotion, with the Raja Yoga, with the breathing and the meditation, with the karma, work for God, and with the bhakti and jnana yoga, knowledge of Advaita. With that, when you do this, automatically know always what Sister Nivedita said. Shiva's blessings as the supreme is there. But who is this Shiva? We just come to that. Just think, he drank it and he stuck the poison which was there to destroy gods and goddesses, demons, asura, the whole universe. He stuck it in his throat. And you all know, that's why he has another name called Neelakantha. The poison turned his throat into blue color. but couldn't do anything to him, which was otherwise destroying everyone. The power of the meditation and being within, he could take that entire muck and the poison and yet stop it without letting it affect him. That's the power of long, these powerful meditations. Power of dwelling within. Shankaracharya is writing another hymn on the greatness of Shiva. Same great Advaita Jagat Guru Shankaracharya has written many hymns on apparently dualistic, but it is not. And the hymn tells us. He's written on Mother Ganga, he's written as Saraswati, he's written in Lakshmi, Parvati, Mother Kali, like that. In this hymn for Shiva, he's saying, "O Shiva, remember, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankara Na Aham, they are not me, my mind, my intellect, my ego, my memory is not me. Chidananda Rupaham, Shivoham Shivoham." He's saying, Shiva, you are my true self. Shiva, you are me. And you are within me. Which is this Shiva? Is the consciousness. And Mother, you are my mind. Divine Mother, you are my mind. The hymn goes on to say, which is Divine Mother? Is the Maya working through the mind. He says, all my senses are working all the time praying for you, Shiva. Whatever I do, that means I eat, I sleep, I drink, I talk, I talk, I act, it's all worship to you, Shiva. See, what do we say in Advaita? Whatever you do, keep that one in front of the zero. Keep God in you. This is what Shankaracharya is writing. He's saying, my body is your home. In other words, that consciousness is in the body. This consciousness is Shiva. And consciousness is the supreme Ishvara, God, is the consciousness. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Taittiriya Upanishad. Now here, Shankaracharya is Shiva, you are that. He's saying everything that I do, I, with my work and senses, I worship thee. He says, when I go to sleep, my sleep is meditation and samadhi as if you are the one who I am with. So the whole Shiva worship, who is the Shiva? Shiva ideal that we are talking about, Mahashivaratri. Shivaratri comes once in every month. Mahashivaratri comes once in a year. There are many mythological stories to depict. This is the day when he did the Tandav Nitya. This is the day when he married Parvati. Parvati is the Divine Mother, is that Maya, and he is the consciousness, Prakriti and Purusha. That's how Mahashivaratri is. A very special day and special Muhurata starting on. And this Shiva, look at the characteristics of Shiva. Firstly, where is Shiva? Not out there in a temple. When is Mahashivaratri? Just as I told you today, as per calendar, as per Tithi, once in a year. But Shankaracharya and Advaita Vedanta is telling Mahashivaratri is every day. Worship Shiva like that, which is your consciousness. The Shiva, who is the Shiva? Is our consciousness. That is why Shivoham, Shivoham. And the moment I get connected to my consciousness, Sat, Chit, Anand, existence, consciousness, bliss, I get into bliss. So notice, Shiva is always blissful. Consciousness is not grabbing, not racing for those things which are coming up as gift for the world. It is totally detached. Consciousness accepts anyone. Consciousness is in everything. Even the insects have senses. Everything on this universe has the consciousness. That is Shiva. So he accepts. Not only that, look at one. Vishnu has his Vahan, the vehicle for travel, is a golden eagle, Garuda. Huge, majestic, gigantic, and very majestic. Durga Mata has her vehicle of movement is a lion. And like that, what about Shiva? He has an old bull, not even young bull. Generally good for nothing. Shiva says, come to me, I will take you with me. The Shiva is ever compassionate. Who is the Shiva? Time and again, it is our consciousness. When you get connected to that, you become Paramahamsa, Buddha, Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. You are one with consciousness. Eko Ham. I am one and I want it to be many. Bahoshyama. That's what you proceed with your journey. The worshipping of Shiva is the worshipping of consciousness, is the Brahman. And the purpose that you're wanting to worship is only when you think these qualities of Shiva are great and I would love those qualities to become mine in this earthly body. I'm not born just for the body to jayate, asti, vartate and then viparit nakshate and nashate. I do not want the body to be like that. I want from death to immortality. So what are the characteristics Shiva has? We talked about them. Let's outline them. First, Viveka. He knows what is real, what is not real. So what does he do? He doesn't race for those jewels from the ocean coming out and waiting to grab one. Notice, when you may not have ever thought of it, but think of it. When all the asuras and the gods and came and asked Shiva, help us, nobody brought one of the thing from the manthan which had come out and said, Shiva, this is for you. Nobody thought. Shiva did not ask because to him it did not matter. So that Viveka, with which the Vivekananda became, with which the Vairag comes. Viveka Vairag, remember Shata Sampatti, Sadhana Chatushti, Viveka 1, Vairag 2, Shata Sampatti is 3, which is Shama, controlling of senses, Dhamma, calmness of mind, controlling of senses. Shama is calmness of mind, Dhamma is controlling of senses. Uparati, don't go outwards, don't go to the ocean, stay within. Samadhana, do your study of the entire, your own mind and scriptures. Titiksha, don't give up. He is not giving up, he stays where he is. Kailasha, why is he in Kailasha? Sanskrit meaning of Kailasha, it means a place where there is only ananda, joy and bliss is prevailing. Lasha. He stays there. And look at his Viveka qualities are discriminations of what is not real, what is real. Indifference, absolutely, to those materialistic things. May it be, notice he wasn't interested in becoming immortal, drinking that, because he knew the wealth is actually within. Now, look at us. We do not know how to discriminate in our real life. 60, 70, 100 emails come to us. Majority of them junk. And we hardly look at them. And even if we look at them, we see, really does it require, I'll think of it tomorrow. We postpone it for tomorrow. And after maybe 30, 40 days, you will open it and eventually see it, oh, this doesn't require. We could have deleted it there itself, like Shiva. He was indifferent to them. We don't do that. In the modern day's life, I'm comparing. We hold on to it and eventually we may delete them, or we go ahead and answer them. Wastage of time. Look at, we have become so reactive. We react to situations. Look at Shiva. He's absolutely calm, peaceful. He didn't even say something as per the story that why are you giving me poison? Now you were thinking about those things and now when it comes to poison you're thinking of me? He does not reject anyone. Even the socially despicable people, he has hope for them. Your consciousness, which is yours and mine, that consciousness, the Ishvara, accepts, remember, the sunlight. It lights up the mind, the reflective consciousness. It may fall on the pitcher of wine, whiskey, doesn't get drunk. The light doesn't get dirty when it falls on something dirty, or doesn't become holy something when it falls on holiness. Our consciousness is like that, and Shiva is like that. Are those properties worth having? And then Shiva's willingness to help everyone. We have our discriminations. We look at people, we make judgment, we label them, we stamp them, and we maintain I and you. You are different, I am different. But Shiva is saying what? He sees everyone within himself and his self as others. Let me repeat that. He sees everyone within himself, that is, as he himself is everyone. And everyone else is the expression of his own self. Notice we have talked about the Vedantic story, the ocean and the waves and the water and the bubble. So, the water itself makes the ocean. The consciousness itself makes those people. He knows there is no difference. And that is why everybody is even-minded and respectable. Talk about seeing, always wanting to help. That is called love. That oneness, not making judgments, not finding faults with the old bull or with the snake, but he has a house for everyone. Divine, even-minded, divine soul. Look at Shiva is with the true love. Look at Buddha now. What did Buddha say? Two. Compassion. Shiva is talking about the same. Buddha discovered this truth from his meditation. Compassion and karuna for everyone. Everybody even. Love for everyone. True love of Shiva for everyone. True love for you and me. This is what the journey. If these characteristics is something that we like to have, then it is worth remembering and worshipping Shiva. Not as a dualistic, but in the Advaita sense. You notice all these properties, and when you look at Shiva, the ancient Puranic story did have a great meaning left for all of us to follow them, to judge them. If you wish to do that, then yes, worshipping is great. Shiva, observing the Mahashivaratri. All great masters, when you talk to them, which one should I do? Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or Karma Yoga? All great masters said do all four simultaneously. Over here, it is appearing in the same manner. The process of, in most of the ashramas in the world over, you can go and give offerings to Shiva, but you can do the offering only if you're fasting. Reminds me of a story of a monk. He was quite a youngish North Indian monk, live in a very remote area, and there they have annakshetras, where they can go in the morning, get a cup of milk, hot milk will be given to them, the monks, and they will get their meals, their food. So this young monk used to walk about 4 kilometers to get that milk in the morning after his morning meditation and prayers. One day he thought, why should I waste my time going and coming back? I will meditate instead. He meditated and he's sharing, either all I meditated upon was my milk. That is not fasting. Fasting is not thinking of food. Fasting is feeling divinely elated that so little actually does my body require, and tremendous energy from within which comes out with the grace of Shiva and the grace of Maya Shakti. Shakti and Shiva together, Prakriti and Purusha, is this supreme universe. So this story actually tells us this ocean of milk churning is nothing else but the mind, which is our mind. And the churning that we're doing with the Kriya Yoga, as we breathing in and breathing out, that's the churning of our Kundalini, Shushumna, and Ida and Pingala. We are breathing in and breathing out, churning the oceans. And with this churning of the ocean, why is it we find it so difficult for meditation? Many do. Because when you feel blissful, that is Amrita. But before that, what about the halahal, the poison? Lots of junk comes up and that makes us restless. Can't sit more than 5 minutes. I want to get up. Start even with 5 minutes, and slowly it will become your condition. Like training the mind, training the wild elephant, training the mind. That is with the Kriya that you're practicing. With the knowledge of Advaita, you know that if I take away, this poison which is there within us, can really destroy our entire world, our entire universe. There are people who got ahead and committed suicide. Why? They found that this world is intolerable. I cannot. There is one very famous book, reminds me of Sophie's Choice by William Tyrrell. And we did some research on William Tyrrell. William Tyrrell himself went into a solid depression, and those days there were no medicines available. And he wrote a Memoirs of a Mad Man, an article. One is Sophie's Choice, a book. Those of you who haven't read it, don't read it, because it is 100% going to make you feel very depressed. And in Madness, Memoir of the Madness, he's saying at the end of it, he went ahead, William Tyrrell went ahead to commit suicide. And he took drugs. Luckily, he got saved. He didn't die. And then later on, he himself is writing. He was a very powerful writer, very good writer. He himself is saying, those things used to bother me so much in my mind, which made me realize I have no other option but to commit suicide. I laugh at them today, that how silly, foolish was I. noticed when you're dealing with your meditation, those junk like poison comes up and tries to make you keep on thinking and restless and worrying, and whole day goes on thinking about those points. And this is what is Holy Mother Sharada is saying. Onne dosh dekhbena. Don't look at faults of other people. So look at the Shiva-like qualities. In the fasting, you choose the way you wish to. If you haven't done today, that means today you've started eating, it's all right. Start before the Muhurat starts. That's my purpose of doing it today at this time. Let us hope it reaches you on time. 2:43 starting, and the entire day from then, evening and tomorrow. Go ahead. Whatever your mind and heart tells you, go ahead and do that. Pray to Shiva. Grant me boons. Help me. Hold my hand. Take me across. Shiva, the Supreme Consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi. That Brahman within me. That Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, will automatically come into force, and you will go beyond Maya. That Maya which otherwise is distracting us through Avarana and Vikshepa, putting projections and making us look something which is really not. And Vikshepa, with that suffering continue. I wish you a very happy Mahashivaratri. Go ahead, understand it the way you wish to, practice the way you wish to, or just enjoy your day. Remember, the message is everything is within. But it doesn't mean we dive within and run off to the mountain Himalaya. No, you stay with your family, your samsara. And that samsara is our mind. And that mind will automatically and can be controlled. Why? Because it is Shiva is within us. Shiva is not out there. Jai Guru. Akasha Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Vayu Shanti, Jalaspataya Shanti, Chittaha Shanti, Manaha Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Uttaradesha Shanti, Dakshinaya Shanti, Purvadesha Shanti, Paschimaya Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.